In a development that could fundamentally reshape the trajectory of the Chicago Bears' 2025 season, the organization approaches Week 14 with cautious optimism and a renewed sense of purpose as they prepare to face their arch-rival, the Green Bay Packers, in what is widely anticipated to be a defining matchup not only for NFC North standings, but also for the Bears' playoff aspirations, with the backdrop of the storied rivalry adding layers of intensity, scrutiny, and historical weight to every strategic decision made on and off the field. And while fans and analysts alike have speculated about the team's potential, it is the latest developments on the injury front that have captured the most attention, as key linebackers TJ Edwards and Noah Sue have been observed participating in limited practice sessions, signaling a tangible improvement in Chicago's defensive outlook after weeks of navigating the challenges posed by absences in the front seven. And although official confirmation via the team's weekly injury report remains pending, multiple first-hand accounts from practice observers indicate that both players are moving actively on the field, demonstrating agility, tackling mechanics, and coverage awareness that suggests they could reach full game readiness in the immediate future. A development that carries profound implications for a Bears defense that has struggled with consistency, particularly against high-powered rushing attacks, and whose overall statistical profile this season reflects both areas of vulnerability and emerging strengths, with points allowed per game hovering around 25.6, yards per game against at 359, and opponents' yards per play ranking near the lower echelons of the league. Yet the team's proficiency in third down conversions and its ability to generate turnovers have provided critical counterweights, exemplified by recent games in which interceptions and forced fumbles directly influenced outcomes, underscoring the potential for disciplined, aggressive play to mitigate earlier deficiencies. And as the team now prepares for a 3:25 p.m. kickoff at Lambeau Field, under the broadcast oversight of Tom Brady, with betting lines favoring Green Bay by 6.5 points. The narrative extends beyond simple statistics into the realm of psychological leverage, as head coach Ben Johnson and defensive coordinator Dennis Allen can frame perceived external disrespect as a motivating force, instilling a competitive edge in a roster that has demonstrated resilience but is now positioned to capitalize on the return of its healthiest configuration in months, with Edwards' gap-filling acumen, tackling precision, and ability to read offensive schemes pairing synergistically with the anticipated return of Tumaine Edmonds from injured reserve to potentially create a linebacker duo capable of altering the dynamics of both run and pass defense, a scenario that would enable the Bears to execute more aggressive schemes, create negative plays, and force opposing quarterbacks like Jordan Love into higher-risk passing situations where mistakes become more likely, particularly when pressured and required to throw under adverse weather conditions characteristic of Green Bay in December, while also allowing Chicago to maintain its own offensive rhythm, protect its rushing attack led by Caleb, and strategically dictate the tempo of the game, forcing the Packers to adjust in ways that may expose vulnerabilities on their defensive front and secondary. A chess-like contest in which each tactical adjustment, personnel substitution, and real-time read could have amplified consequences in a matchup steeped in tradition, rivalry, and regional pride. And while Edwards and Sue's contributions are expected to be pivotal in stopping the ground game, the broader implications extend to overall team morale, depth chart optimization, and statistical projection, with the Bears' ability to convert on third downs and generate turnovers continuing to serve as the backbone of defensive strategy, reflecting a philosophical shift under Dennis Allen from the previously softer coverages that allowed quarterbacks to exploit predictable zones to a more complex, versatile, and reactive system designed to confuse opposing quarterbacks, create negative plays, and generate momentum-swinging turnovers, as evidenced by the interception and fumble recovery successes against teams such as the Eagles, where strategic pressure directly translated into scoring opportunities and game-defining plays. And looking forward, the Bears' defensive renaissance, facilitated by the reintegration of key players and improved in-game execution, suggests a trajectory where Chicago could emerge as a top 10 defensive unit if continuity and health are maintained, even as they face formidable opponents down the stretch, including high-powered offenses that will test both tactical acumen and physical endurance, with the Green Bay matchup serving as a microcosm of these challenges, given the Packers' proficiency in balancing their ground and aerial attacks, their ability to exploit mismatches in coverage, and the calculated aggression of offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur, whose schemes have enabled Jordan Love to perform at an elite level. including 19 passing touchdowns and efficiency metrics that rank among the league's best, while also exposing him to situations in which excessive reliance on the pass or aggressive defensive pressure could provoke errors, making Chicago's defensive strategy both high risk and high reward. And complementing this strategic approach is the Bears' potential to regain depth across multiple positional groups, including the secondary, which, when paired with a healthy linebacker unit, creates an integrated system capable of limiting explosive plays, enhancing pass rush efficacy, and supporting offensive game plans designed to exploit Green Bay's defensive tendencies, with statistical modeling suggesting that even small improvements in third down conversion rates, turnover differential, and yards allowed per play could shift expected outcomes in Chicago's favor, particularly in a late-season context where momentum, confidence, and team cohesion can outweigh raw talent discrepancies, and as media coverage, fan engagement, and social discourse amplify the significance of every practice observation, roster update, and tactical decision, the Bears' narrative evolves into one where preparation, resilience, and adaptability converge at a moment of heightened stakes, transforming what might have been a routine divisional game into a crucible that tests both the tangible skills and intangible character of the roster, underscoring the broader implications for the franchise's legacy, its standing within the NFC North, and its capacity to leverage historical rivalry intensity into contemporary performance, while also highlighting the symbiotic relationship between player health, coaching strategy, and statistical performance, where the return of Edwards and Sue, the anticipated reintegration of Edmonds, and the ongoing refinement of defensive schemes collectively offer the possibility of a late-season surge capable of not only winning a critical matchup against Green Bay, but also recalibrating the Bears' season trajectory in a manner that reinforces confidence, energizes fans, and sets the stage for a potential playoff run, demonstrating how the convergence of talent, timing, and tactical acumen can redefine expectations, elevate performance, and turn perceived adversity into opportunity, all while engaging a national audience through broadcast platforms that highlight the importance of each personnel decision, in-game adjustment, and strategic innovation, making the Week 14 clash more than a mere contest. It becomes a decisive chapter in the story of a team striving to reclaim its identity, assert its competitiveness, and capitalize on a convergence of health, preparation, and opportunity that may ultimately determine whether the Chicago Bears can achieve their postseason goals and establish a blueprint for sustained success in the years ahead. With the broader NFL context, emphasizing that rivalries, injuries, tactical shifts, and performance metrics are inextricably linked, and that the return of key contributors at a critical juncture not only reshapes immediate matchups, but also signals potential shifts in league-wide dynamics as teams recalibrate their expectations, adjust game plans, and respond to emergent threats posed by a reinvigorated Bears roster, all of which elevates the importance of analytical scrutiny, media narrative, and fan engagement in shaping both perception and momentum, making the outcome of this Packers-Bears encounter emblematic of how health, strategy, and execution converge to influence not just a single game, but the broader arc of a franchise.